Yo, what's going on? Justice here. I'm about to let loose a free training I did right inside of my original chapters marketing group over on Facebook, breaking down that organic to passive income lifestyle, okay? And all around how to truly get started with it, right? Everything from around the content creation, from the sales conversation, audience growth, the tech, and realistically, lack of tech that you actually should be implementing into your business, all right? So with that being said, let's get right to it. In reality here, like I said, for myself, I truly believe that organic marketing is one of the best ways to get started in your business. I said earlier, when it comes down to software and pieces like that, a lot of people want to go ahead and implement software because they believe it will bring them speed inside of their business. I also believe the same thing when it comes to paid ads. I think that paid ads are extremely powerful. We use them in our business, but when I was starting off, I did not spend a single dime on any kind of paid ads in my business there. You guys can check in the guides. The first or second video in there is called 236K through conversations, right? That broke down how I literally made 236K my first full year in the business without any ads and realistically leveraging the idea that high ticket sales are born through one-on-one conversations there, right? And so in reality, how can we go ahead and generate conversations? That's where content, if you're starting off right now, let's just say you're just starting off, or I sometimes don't even like the whole idea of just getting started off. I think of it more as you're struggling to get results, right? And if you're just starting out, you're obviously struggling to get results because you just started yesterday, a month ago, 3 months ago, whatever, right? And so with that being the case there, I want you to really start getting as good as you can at making professional content. Professional content. I throw the air quotes around for a good reason there, because in reality, a lot of times when we think of professional content, that's when, to me, when imposter syndrome can start kicking in, because we start wanting to make content that doesn't feel like it's you, right? I say I'm a big believer in building personal brands here, and the reason behind that is because that is the only thing that you have that nobody else can duplicate, right? If you're stealing someone's copy, if you're stealing someone's content, sure, it can help you out, but good luck recreating that when it comes down to it down the line there, right? That person you stole it from can always keep bringing in new content because they've been sharpening those skills. I want you to start thinking about that aspect in your business right now. How can you go ahead and get really good at content, right? Really good at content where it starts to become cleaner, right? You start to get your formatting down. You start to really getting people to engage with your content, right? That's what I want you to really start focusing on in the beginning there inside of your business, because realistically, like I said, good content does not mean it's perfect. I always say this is one great little tip to keep in mind. If obviously it's different for video, right? But if you're writing any kind of written piece of content, one thing you want to really keep in mind there is scratch your name from that piece of content there. You want to make it so that anybody who is reading that piece of content can tell that post came from you, right? Think about that next time you're writing, because that's going to allow you to really step away from trying to be like quote unquote perfect and bringing out more of you, right? That's why I love this industry, because I can talk in slang, unlike when I was in the corporate accounting world. I had to be as professional as freaking possible, and I hated it, right? So myself, I can be myself here, and I love it, right? So that's where for yourself there too, I really want you to think about that there as well. Start putting yourself into your content, lean into that, because that's going to be so much more. And then in all honesty, it's going to help you get to those next levels here. Once you can start to get started here, now you can start to get really good and get great in other areas as well, right? Such a big piece there too. Comment content below if you feel me and understand me on that side there too. Happy to answer some questions as we keep going there too as well. So with that being said there too, sales conversations, right? Sales conversations, building out your initial sales process, I believe is also one of the key pieces you need to do inside of your marketing, inside of your business, inside of your strategy. I think that at the end of the day, I've done pieces around this before. I see Nance saying content, Michelle saying content, love it. Come on now, it's just critical pieces in your business there. Even Michelle, I know you had a nice like 1K day after jumping in here too and soaking all this. And I know you had education elsewhere, but I love seeing that the consistency of you guys showing up here. It can do wonders. Buddy, shout out to Buddy, just had his first $1,000 day the other day too. I'm telling you, start diving into little things, and then you can start dialing that much more into what matters inside of your business there, right? So with that being said, like I said, predicting your flow of your sales really is such a key piece there. And the reason I say that is because once you can start mapping that out, it gives you so much more clarity around when a good lead, a hot lead comes your way, which is what everybody wants in their business. You already have a plan and a roadmap for what you can do to turn that potential opportunity into a potential sale, right? And so that's why a big reason I say, once again, having that simplicity, having that clarity from the simplicity, this is going to allow you to, on all honesty here, map out this process, map out this flow. I've told you guys this hopefully time and time before, maybe not. In reality, having an offer without any kind of flow leading to it is useless. Right? I think we can all agree there, and if I can elaborate if we really need. But in all honesty there, if you have an offer that you don't have a way for people to get to it, it will do nothing for you, right? Because technically no one's going to see the offer. So with that being said, start to map out what that flow is going to be. Even if you're somebody who loves automation, like map out what that flow is going to be so you know exactly how the automation can kick in and come to life. How are you going to get someone to that first step of the automation that can then push them to a sale later, right? For myself, I'm going to tell you right now, I don't think you should be leaning into automation because this is not going to be involved in this get started right now, right? But with that being said there, keep that in mind, right? Keep that in mind and really start mapping these things out. Plan on this side here, right? Past this, right? Comment sales if you understand me on the sales conversations, right? Comment sales there. Audience growth, next after that. I say this all the time. Leads, they're the backbone of your business here. And we would be lying to ourselves if we said that leads aren't important, right? I do believe in quality over quantity, right? But at the end of the day, if you have no leads, you got nothing to stand on. So audience growth is one of those big things you have to absolutely lean into. And that's where content can be such a powerful piece inside your business. Start to figure all this out as you go, right? So it's audience growth is one of those things where once you start leaning into personal branding, once you start leaning into your content, once you start figuring out what your sales process is and the flow around it, it'll start to give you so much more clarity. It will just naturally bring the type of people you want inside your business to you. And whether they're not there for a sale, it at least gives you those opportunities to have an audience you can now start marketing to. And it's not just an audience full of people who just are not your ideal avatars, right? That's why we talk about discover your six-figure avatar, so you can have an idea of who the type of people you want to work with. But then start leaning in, start dialing in your game plan around them, right? I'll tell you, that's such a big piece as well as far as that. Like I said, that's where in reality, as I said here, I want you to avoid shiny object syndrome. I want you to avoid tech, right? At the end of the day here, there's a reason why I don't want you focusing on automation at this point. Like I said, tech, with the main reason that people get into tech and implementing that into their business is because of speed, right? But the catch-22 to that is that all of these complicated systems end up slowing you down in the beginning. You can go ahead and take my word for it and go ahead and not. I can tell you here right now, because you want to soak in this value, lean into that. And that's especially if you're at the getting started phase. I'm not talking about I'm telling you right now, this is not a bash automation, bash systems live stream right here. We're going to get into that later on, right? I just want to make sure that we have a clear understanding of, depending on where you are, lean into those spaces there, right? Lean into those spaces there too, right? In reality, I want you to really think about how another big thing, there's two other things here. I want to end with the one that I think is huge, honestly. The first one is really the power of one. If you guys haven't been around the Ritual Chapters world or Ritual Chapters community, you're going to learn quickly, I believe, in the power of one, right? The power of one, I love the power of one platform, et cetera, et cetera. Power of one offer here. And that's where in reality, a part of this getting started is you really have to figure out what your minimum viable offer is. That is a huge piece to get you going and give you enough clarity so we're at the point where you're not procrastinating. To the point where in reality, you can go ahead and start taking action. Because imperfect action is going to beat procrastination 99 out of 100 times of the week there, right? I think I saw, we have a new student that just joined us recently, Rob McCoy. I think he's in here. If he's not, we'll just a low-key shout out to him. He jumped in with us, I think it was like a week ago, maybe not even. And he's been taking so much relentless action, and it freaking pumps me up because it's like, once again, just leaning in. You're unsure. You're unsure. You're like, I might make mistakes, but it's like, who cares, right? It's better to do that and then learn from those mistakes and continue to grind there. It's almost like grind the smart way. That's why I say simplicity over hustle. You don't want to just hustle blindly. Hustle with a strategy. Hustle with a process. And then you're going to have so much more clarity and build up to where you want to get to inside of your business there, right? And so that's the second to last thing. And the reality, the last big piece I will say as far as getting started that we cannot overlook, right? And shout out Buddy. I see Buddy says my man Rob Shout out Buddy too. Buddy's been with us for less than a month. He's already knocked out his first 1K day. I love it there too. I think we just congratulated Chad there too. Chad, I don't think he's on here right now, but he knocked out his first 1 day too. So just love seeing people leaning in. And this exactly ties into what I want to talk about next, which is the last piece before we talk about getting good at that intermediate stage. And that in reality is strengthening your mindset. Strengthening your mindset. I feel like, once again, I told you I'd be doing you a disservice if I said that passive income was a reality as far as 100% passive income. I don't believe it is, but also I'd be doing you a disservice. I didn't mention how strengthening your mindset is something that is so critical inside of this business. I've had conversations with some of our coaches, people in past in this business here, where I said I didn't realize, and I say this from a humble position, right? Hopefully you believe it's humble. If you think I'm being cocky, I truly apologize. But in reality, I didn't realize how strong of a mindset I actually had coming into this industry. And I think that a big thing from that, and I say this industry specifically because in all honesty, I've had plenty of other entrepreneurial journeys before I landed to this online space, right? My first bits of success online, true success, right? I've had success where I made some sales before I got into what I'm going to say affiliate marketing. That was my first bits of success, which then now obviously I'm an impact driven coach here, which is now kind of completely taken over the business here. But with that being said, past entrepreneurial journeys I've had, I truly believe have strengthened my mindset. I'd had to go through hurdles, had to go through rejection, had to go through things that made me have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Because that's where the growth lies, right? So if realistically, what you have to do when you're starting off and getting started here, you got to take your head out of that box. You have to take your head out of that box because you're right now in the beginning, you're looking to do things your way, which you believe is the perfect way. But that's not why you got into this. You got into this because you want to transform your life. You got into this because you want to gain that freedom. Don't do yourself a disservice by keeping yourself in that mental box there. It will damage you, and no strategy or tactic will save you. I promise you that much. That is one of the things that I realized. Without that foundation, nothing matters. I can give you all the best sales tactics. I can tell you how to write amazing content. I can tell you exactly how to grow your audience. But if your mindset's broken, we don't stand a chance here. All right? So once again, I say this I hope I don't come off too harsh, but in a certain way, I kind of hope I do. Just as a little bit of a wake-up call, right? Whether you're watching live or on the replay here. Comment mindset if you agree. Comment mindset if you agree. Comment mindset if you understand what I'm saying. Comment mindset if you can resonate at all with this last strong piece here when it comes to getting started. Like I said, to me, it's huge. It's huge there, and like I said, I don't want to skip over it like it means nothing inside your business there. As you can see, I love talking about tactics. Tactics to me are like the blast. That's the fun part. It's like the quote-unquote action taken. But we have to take action with our mindset as well there. That's the bridge to making any successful strategy work, right? So I see a ton of great stuff in the comments here too. I'd be lying if I'm saying I can catch up with some of the things going in there, but I'm seeing the highlights, right? I saw the sales. I see imperfect action better than nothing, and I see a bunch of mindset is so important. Mindset is everything. Mindset key for sure. Mindset. I'm having an awesome guest speaker one week today in my group. Just saying, come on now, there we go. Look at that mindset. Did anyone read Secrets of a Millionaire Mindset? Patrick says. Go ahead and check it out. It sounds like I haven't, but if it's around mindset, it can't be hard to can't hurt. So that being said, let's go and get right into this next one here, right? Vince, I love it there, man. OGC in the building. I'm all about the inner game. Without that, I've already harped on enough, right? I appreciate you guys agreeing, so let's keep it pushing. Hey, thanks for watching this video all the way through. Make sure you go ahead and like this if you got a ton of value from, which I hope you did. Subscribe to the channel, and absolutely go ahead and join us in our Original Chapters community. Links right down there in the description. And as always, you are designed to become who you choose to be. I'll see you later.